Zombie apocalypse.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video. My name is Flawless and this is part of my Dota 2 Noob series. I do this for Overwatch as well, so if you guys want to check out the other videos, links down below. Now I'm going to be breaking down Weaver and pretty much how I like to play him and what is the build that I kind of start off with. Usually in every single game, it honestly depends. You have to change your build depending on who you're going to face in the lane. So in this gameplay, I'm actually facing a solo OD in the off lane, and definitely a good gameplay for you guys to watch and take a few tips from. And now my support over here was actually the bounty hunter. He actually did a really good job on helping me get some kills onto OD and kind of harassing him and taking some money away from him, which definitely OD needs. He needs those items in order to perform very well. Normally Weaver is a very squishy target, and a good OD player would definitely harass me much more than this one did. But basically what I like to start off with, I like to get mangoes. I like to take a salve all the time and plenty of fairy fires just to give you that damage. And if you guys have another build in mind, definitely let me know if you guys play with Weaver and what kind of builds you guys are using with him. So basically Weaver, once you get your treads, you definitely have to rush Desolator. Now I do like to run with 2 Wraith Bands just because it gives me that agility and gives me those stats that I desperately need as Weaver. He's just such a squishy character, and until he doesn't get a Desolator, you can't really notice the impact in the game as much with Weaver. Now I do get a couple kills before I actually get my Desolator, which shows you that this gameplay was going really well for me in the lane, and these guys weren't really the greatest players out there, so props to my teammate Bounty Hunter. Definitely did a good job out there. Also, I just really recommend you guys to play a little bit defensive when you guys are playing Weaver at the beginning, and I don't recommend taking your level 6 at level 6. You're just not going to need it as much. I tend to do it around level 8, level 9. I don't know, it just really depends on the game. If I'm getting harassed a little bit too much, I might do it, but normally I don't do the level 6 at level 6. I would recommend doing your invis right off the beginning. That's your W. I definitely recommend you to start off with that, and then 1 touch on the Q, just so you're able to get a little bit of damage and kind of harass them a little bit with that. But then your E, which is your passive ability, which pretty much lets you land an extra couple shots. It's pretty much a tri-burst. It's definitely a good ability and definitely what makes Weaver stand out, and definitely gives him that extra power to stand in the lane. Otherwise, if you don't do that passive ability as much, you're definitely not going to be able to do anything in the lane. And I definitely recommend you to play with someone that could definitely harass the enemy, so try and play maybe with a Lina or a Warlock, someone along those lines. Bounty Hunter in this example, it was actually very good, but normally I wouldn't recommend laning with a Bounty Hunter, as he does need farm and he won't always be there for you because he will be roaming the map. So in this game he actually played support for me, which is awesome for him. Thank you very much. I truly appreciated that, or else this game would have gone sideways. Now definitely try and harass with your invisibility as well. Now if they have wards, that's going to be your support's job to detect those wards and take them out. But normally if you can't last hit with Weaver, which is actually pretty easy to last hit once you get your passive ability going, try and when the creeps are actually low in health, you could go with your invisibility depending on what level it is. So at level 1 you kind of have to wait until they're low, and then once you pass over them with your invisibility, it will kill them, and then you could actually get more farm out of that. You can kind of flash farm a little bit, but definitely try and get your Desolator between 15 and 20 minutes. Some people say that's a little bit slow, but just really aim on getting that Desolator, because once you get the Desolator, it goes night and day for Weaver. It definitely turns him into a really good hero to tank in the lane. Weaver is the type of hero that goes in, gets a couple shots, backs off. He is not the type of hero to be in the front line. He doesn't have that much range, so you guys might equip a couple items that I'm going to put on the screen that you guys can use as a really good build if you guys notice that Weaver doesn't have enough range for you and you're dying way too much. That's pretty much going to be the build. I'm going to show you guys the end build as well on how I ended this game. I actually didn't go such a big build. I also get Lincoln Sphere in this gameplay. That's actually very good just because there's a lot of harass on the other team that could definitely target me, and I am definitely a priority for them, because once Weaver comes out in the game, he comes online, he's definitely a hero to be feared. Now he's the type of hero, like I'm saying, he likes to pick off the supports in the lane. He goes right behind them with that Desolator, definitely shreds them, and then he invis and flies out. That's pretty much the way to play him. That's how I play him, at least, and some of the people I've seen in the pro brackets, they've been using him like that when they do choose Weaver, and that's definitely just the way I find the most success. Go in, get out, get a couple kills, back off. Don't try and target anyone with a stun, because you will get wrecked. Pretty much as soon as Weaver gets stunned with a small health pool, even when you're 6 slotted, you're fully built, he's definitely still very weak in terms of health. And just definitely be careful powerful, and this is the type of hero you really just want to play aggressive a little bit and then you back off. He's really good at pushing the lanes though, so with his invisibility and his level 25 talent, you guys gain a lot of movement speed. This guy flies across the map with his invis, so definitely that gives you the ability to push the lane super fast, use your TPs, and just definitely pressure the lane, push them, because since you're invis, half the time in the lower brackets, people are not going to use dust, they're not going to have that many wards, and they're really not going to be looking for you as much. So definitely just abuse that, push the lanes, and you're going to see that you're going to be helping your team a lot more. Now sometimes weavers get called selfish because they back off a fight a little bit too early, or they're just pushing the lanes and farming. That's not a bad thing. Sometimes weaver can't do anything in a team fight, so definitely don't hold it against them. It's better for a weaver to start pushing the lanes and getting that XP and gold and getting himself a 6 slotted than actually getting into a fight, losing that gold. You guys are getting pushed from all the lanes, and it's definitely a disadvantage. You always want to have weaver busy trying to push the lanes, and if he can get a couple kills in the fight, even better, but just don't count on him as much to be your main tank in the fight. I also recommend Daedalus because that definitely gives him a lot of damage and it will give him that critical. I also like to build Diffusal Blade. Now sometimes you need to pair that up with attack speed so you can burn more mana out of it and definitely get some value out of your Diffusal Blade. I definitely recommend the Diffusal Blade if you're just struggling and they're launching too many spells. So against this OD, it's actually really good to get a Diffusal Blade just so you can burn a little bit of his mana. It won't do a big deal, but it's definitely better than nothing. Also against the Sven, so Sven already doesn't have a big mana pool, and a lot of the Svens, they just like building a lot of power and they end up not having enough mana. Also, you should get yourself a BKB if you guys are going to be in the fights and you're that type of player that likes getting into a lot of fights, likes backing up your team all the time. I definitely recommend you get a BKB. Your invis doesn't last that long, it's about 4 to 5 seconds. Doesn't last that long even with your ultimate, with everything popped up. You definitely want to be able to have that tanking power with the BKB, and like I said, once you get stunned, chances are you are gonna die. But that's pretty much how I like to play weaver. Definitely play a little bit more defensive and aggressive when you really have to, and definitely push the lanes. That's definitely gonna move you up in the ladder, and it's going to get you some great gameplays. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys liked it, a thumbs up would be much appreciated. Check out the links below to check out the other videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.